Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you ever feel like fitness is just another annoying, boring thing on your to-do list, this video is for you. I used to think that the only way to get fit was to push harder, go to the gym, and force myself to love workouts I hated. But the truth is, fitness should feel good, energizing, something that you actually want to do. And because I want to make it as easy for you as possible, I put together a free feel-good fitness blueprint that walks you through everything. How to build a fitness routine you love, cycle sync your workouts, and actually stay consistent. Inside, you get a planner to design a fitness routine that fits your lifestyle. You'll also receive my top 10 fun and effective workouts, no gym required. The blueprint is totally free. All you need to do to get it is to click the link in my description and I will send it straight to your inbox. So let's talk about secret number 1. You don't have to push harder. For a very long time, I struggled with this opinion that more was better. I had to push more, I had to work out more, and I was never doing enough. Because there are so many videos on the internet where people share their workout routines, and there are people who exercise every single day for like an hour or two, and I thought that that was my goal, to exercise as much as possible every single day. And on the weeks that I was exercising every single day, I felt like I was still not doing enough. Like my workouts had to be harder, my workouts had to be more challenging, and I could always do more. More gym sessions, more intense workouts, more pushing through exhaustion. But over time, I realized that I actually needed to listen to my body and work with it, not against it. That actually led to better results. In reality, when you start listening to your body and when you stop constantly making yourself exhausted, that is when you actually see sustainable results.
Crow pose is the first arm balance most people want to learn, but it takes control and not force. If you force your way through crow pose, you'll most likely fall. But if you learn to engage the right muscles and lean into the posture with control, it suddenly becomes effortless. You can even start experimenting with crazy things like this one, lifting one leg up.
It's like what I was saying before, pushing harder is not always the solution. With the crow pose, if you push harder, there's a very high chance you might fall. And so when you lean into it, when you find that balance, when you start working with your body, not against it, that's when real progress happens. And so when I started moving in a way that actually felt good, I realized something else. Comfort matters so freaking much. If you've ever tried to power through a long day in uncomfortable shoes, you know how much of a difference the right fit can make. That is why I was so excited when I found out about VIVAIA. And I want to say a huge thank you to them for sponsoring a portion of today's video. VIVAIA is an eco-friendly brand that makes stylish and comfortable footwear out of recycled plastic bottles. Yes, actual bottles turned into shoes. Their designs are breathable, lightweight, and made to actually support your feet, which I love because I'm all about choosing comfort in both movement and daily life. Guys, one of the things that I love most is when brands I already use reach out to work with me, and VIVAIA is one of them. I actually own 2 pairs of their shoes already, the Mary Janes in this beautiful red color and these incredibly soft sandals. When I went on vacation a few weeks ago and vlogged the trip, I was wearing my VIVAIA sandals everywhere, I'm telling you guys, because they actually stretched with my feet. And I bought them with my own money a year ago. And this time VIVAIA sent me a few pairs to try and I have been obsessed. I got the Margot Mary Jane flats and Scarlet Kitten heels and the Addison pointed toe slingbacks, all of which are foldable, soft, and so comfy to wear. Whether I'm running errands, dressing up a bit, or just want something that actually supports my feet, these have been a game changer for me. I love VIVAIA shoes because they're sustainable and stylish. They're made from recycled materials but still look so chic. They're super comfortable. I can literally wear them all day without discomfort. And they are foldable and super soft, perfect for traveling or just tossing into your bag. If you've been looking for shoes that actually feel good to wear, definitely check them out. You can get 10% off with my code Veronika10 using the link below. I'll also have everything, all the shoes linked in the description box. Okay, let's move on to secret number 2. gym isn't the only option. For years, I forced myself to go to the gym because I thought that that's what I was supposed to do. The same thing with pushing myself too hard. I thought that if I wasn't going to the gym and if I wasn't pushing myself hard enough at the gym, it didn't count. But the reality is I hated every single second of it. And the result was obviously I was not consistent at all, even though I had this like inner dialogue that I have to push harder, I have to go to the gym. Maybe it worked for a few weeks. Yes, I was very consistent, but then something changed in my routine, my energy levels, and I stopped being consistent just because that routine was not sustainable for me at all. I didn't like doing squats, I didn't like lifting weights, but I thought that if I wanted a toned body, that's what I had to do. And yeah, I pushed myself just a little bit. It's so freaking obvious to me right now why I stopped exercising. I just thought that, working out, going to the gym, exercising in general was just not for me. So what changed? When I finally let go of the shoulds. There are so many opinions on the internet about how you should be working out, and clearly it wasn't working for me. I believed that gym was the only option, but as a result, I was not consistent and I was not actually going to the gym. I was not exercising at all. And then I said, Veronika, stop for a second and just think about what you want to do. What brings you joy, and just do that. So that's actually when I tried bouldering about a year ago. I literally hit this phase where I was I don't want to use the word lazy because it's not laziness. I just didn't know what worked for me in terms of my exercise routine. I thought that going to the gym every single day or as many days as possible was the routine that was going to lead me to my results, even though I hated it. And so when I finally let go of that, I told myself, Veronika, you're not going to go to the gym because you clearly don't like it. It is not sustainable. You're not consistent. So what would you like to do? What would you like to do that just brings you joy and moves your body? Because as I was growing up, I knew that exercising was important according to science. It was important for our bodies, for our mental health. So I didn't just want to give up on that. I wanted to find a routine that worked for me. So finally, thanks to bouldering, I fell in love with movement again. And don't get me wrong, in the beginning, I did have a lot of those thoughts like, okay, bouldering is like very much focused on your upper body. So what about my lower body? What about my legs? I should be exercising my legs. I should be doing this core workout. Yes, I had all of those thoughts at the beginning. It's not like this and then something changes and then you fall in love with your workout routine and everything is amazing. No, it takes a lot of self-work, a lot of patience, a lot of journaling, reminding myself that right now I'm in my era of letting go of all the shoulds. And after I started bouldering, I actually changed my yoga routine a little bit because I realized that the current yoga routine that I had, I did like yoga. Like yoga was not the problem. The problem was the way I was practicing yoga. I wanted something more challenging. And now my yoga makes me feel like a gymnast a little bit, just a tiny little bit, because when I was a kid, I did gymnastics my whole childhood. We're gonna talk about it later. But with all of these changes, what happened is working out became something that I actually looked forward to. I fell in love with moving my body, and that was my goal. Okay, let's talk about secret number 3, your menstrual cycle and your energy. Women's bodies don't operate on a 24-hour cycle like men's do. It is something that I had to learn and something that I still have to remind myself of sometimes. And no wonder I sometimes have days when I feel amazing and strong, and other days when I feel weak and sluggish and sleepy all day, no matter how much I actually slept the night before. Turns out it wasn't me. Like, I wasn't imagining anything. I wasn't being lazy. It was my hormones. And understanding my menstrual cycle and how my hormones fluctuate and how my energy levels change throughout the cycle really helped me optimize my workouts and not feel bad when I just couldn't push harder. I am sick and tired of fighting against my body. I want to start working with it. I want to start taking care of myself, and understanding how my body works helps me do just that. We'll talk about the menstrual cycle a little more later, but for now, let's move on to secret number 4. Over-exercising might harm you. So here's where I'm gonna share my rhythmic gymnastics story. From ages 4 to 13, I did rhythmic gymnastics in Russia because I'm originally from Russia, and rhythmic gymnastics is such a big and serious sport over there because the competition was so high. I was always obsessed with looking as skinny as possible, and I pushed my body past its limits over and over again. And when I was a teenager, I actually ended up with amenorrhea. I lost my period, which was not healthy at all, but at the beginning, I did not care. I was like, I want to be as skinny as possible. That is my goal. And if every single morning I wake up and I feel like I'm gonna faint if I lose my period, that is just what has to be done. That's what I thought at that time. And the reason why I'm sharing all of this is because I know it's not just my story. It happens to so many girls in sports like gymnastics, track, and dance. And guess what? I did track as well. Right after I quit gymnastics, when I was 13, 14, I started doing track. And I did track up until I went to college, up until I was 18 years old. I feel like all of my teenage years, my body was literally crying for help because I was pushing myself so freaking hard. What really helped me was reading this book, and I highly recommend it to every single girl, every single woman out there. In the book, she also talks about how she lost her period while doing track and how common this is for female athletes in endurance sports. It's called amenorrhea, and it's a major red flag that our body is just under too much stress and it's time to pull back instead of pushing harder. Lauren also dives deep into the way female athletes are often pushed to perform under the same conditions as men, even though our bodies function completely differently. There's always so much pressure to be lighter, leaner, and faster, and many young female athletes end up sacrificing their health just to meet unrealistic expectations. My example right here. And that is exactly why I think we need to rethink how we train as women. If your body is shutting down essential functions like your period, it is an essential function. It means that it is literally screaming for help. And when I was a teenager and I lost my period, I was like, it's okay, I don't really need it. You know, it's so fun not having a period. I did not think of it as my body screaming for help. So instead of working against our bodies, we need to start working with them, understanding our cycles, fueling our bodies properly, and choosing workouts that support us and not deplete us. Okay, now let's talk about secret number 5. Exercise isn't a punishment. I think for me, it kind of goes back to me doing gymnastics and then track. I exercised because I didn't like my certain body parts and I wanted to change them. So the energy I was bringing to my workouts was I wanted thinner thighs, I wanted a flatter stomach, and a more toned look. And every single time I would look at myself in the mirror, I would weigh myself, I would feel sad because I wasn't noticing any progress because I was literally measuring myself every single day, and I punished myself for eating junk food with exercising. It was a form of punishment for myself because I didn't look the way I wanted to look because I wasn't eating 100% perfect. So here you go, this is what you get. Go to the gym and spend an hour lifting weights. Honestly, just saying all of this makes me exhausted. You can only imagine how exhausted my body was. Only when I actually shifted my mindset to moving because I love my body, not because I hate it, everything changed. My body responded better and I stopped being obsessive. And I started enjoying the process of working out instead of just fixating on the results. Because let's be honest, the results will come. If you love your body and you exercise from this love, from pouring a lot of energy into yourself because you are your biggest love, you will get all the results, I promise you, without fixating on them. If every time you go and do a workout, workout is because you are truly enjoying the process of working out and it's just time for you. You're actually taking care of yourself. It's an act of self-care. Your body will respond and you will get all the results you want. Okay, secret number 6 is if you hate your workouts, you won't stick to them. No matter how much and how hard I try to push through, I try to go to the gym, I try to lift weights, do squats. At one point, I always stopped being consistent because I hated those workouts. And I believe right now that exercise should be enjoyable. It should not be a dreaded task because there are so many things during the day that we already have to do. You have to work to make money. You have to maybe do this very unpleasant work task because it is absolutely necessary. So if you hate the gym, that is absolutely okay. Try other forms of movement. And I have a whole list of some fun and playful workouts that might help you, might make you feel more like you're in this flow, you're enjoying the process, you're having fun while exercising. And then eventually, once you actually have this habit, you will realize that you are the person who exercises regularly, who sees result, and who has fun along the way, which is the most important thing. So of course, in my list, I had to include bouldering and yoga. This is what I do. I absolutely love these two sports. I also actually do swimming once a week. I have been obsessed with swimming lately, and you know what actually made me fall in love with swimming even more? My instructor, because I'm still learning how to swim, she organized a lesson for me using these little hoops, I think that's what they're called, that they use for kids. And she basically just like threw them into the pool, and she told me to dive and pick them up and try not to breathe for as long as possible. And so I did that and I had so much fun. And I even ordered those little hoops on Amazon for myself because that is how I like to swim. I really like diving. I really like being underwater. So that little activity, collecting all of those little hoops and trying not to breathe for as long as possible, oh my god, I enjoyed it so freaking much. So what else do I have here? I have dance workouts like pole dancing, twerking, bar, hiking, rebounding, which is jumping on mini trampolines, rollerblading, obviously swimming, aerial yoga, and Pilates. Okay, let's move on to secret number 7, which is try cycle syncing your workouts. So I already kind of talked about your menstrual cycle in this video, how it really affects our energy and how we as women don't operate on this 24-hour schedule. Our natural rhythm is a little bit different. So let's look at this quick guide to align your workouts with your cycle. Day 1 to around day 5 is your menstrual phase. You can do some restorative yoga, walking, some gentle stretching. If you don't feel like doing absolutely anything, I know some women cannot do anything when they're on their period. That is absolutely okay. But maybe, while you're working, you can just do some stretching. Just move your body a little bit. Or maybe walk to get some groceries. That is absolutely okay. Because I personally feel extremely sleepy when I'm on my period. And that actually sometimes makes it harder for me to work because I'm working, everything is okay, and I just feel like I'm falling asleep like this. The next phase is your follicular phase, days 6 to 14. That is when you can try some high energy workouts, strength training, and just new activities in general. Then we go to your ovulatory phase, days 15 to 17. That is peak performance. And it's crazy that we only get around 2 days of peak performance. Obviously, it depends on a person. That is when you can try strength training, HIIT, heavy lifting, maybe some really hard, intense yoga. That is what I do. That is usually when I do all of my most difficult arm balances. I try new arm balances. I really focus on my handstands. That is usually when I do all of that because I do feel like I have so much energy to do all of this to conquer the world. And then we go into your luteal phase, days 18 to 28. This is when you can do lower intensity workouts, Pilates, light strength, and walks. The change that I have noticed for myself is when I work with with my cycle instead of against my cycle, it really makes my fitness, my workouts feel natural instead of forced. Because I know that if right now I'm on my period, I'm probably not going to do inverted poses. I'm probably not going to do difficult arm balances just because I feel sleepy, and that is absolutely okay. In a few days, my energy levels will change and I'm going to do something more complicated. Let's move on to secret number 8. Rest is productive. I think this is going to be really important to hear for overachievers because we always want to do more. We always want to push harder, and oftentimes we don't really listen to our bodies. We think that rest is for the weak, rest is not helping me get closer to my goals, and rest is just not something that I need in my life, which is absolutely not true. You need rest, and rest is productive. It's an investment into yourself. If you overwork your body, it will lead to burnout, exhaustion, or even injury, and obviously that is not something we want. Taking rest days isn't lazy, it's essential. It is something that your body needs, something that your muscles need to recover, and your nervous system also needs a break from constantly pushing, constantly exercising, constantly working out. Secret number 9 is progress isn't just physical. I strongly encourage every single one of you to stop measuring your progress in just weight loss, or in just muscle gain, in just how much you can lift, or in just how fast you can run, or how fast you can swim, or how high you can climb, because progress is also about how you feel, and that is so important. Do you feel like now you have more energy because you're exercising consistently? Do you feel like you're less stressed? Do you sleep better? Those are the wins that actually matter. Those are the sustainable wins that will make you focus on the process. They will make you enjoy the process and not just fixate on the results. And finally, let's talk about the secret number 10. The most sustainable fitness plan is the one you love. Because right now on the internet, on social media, there's so many fitness plans, there's so many ways you need to be exercising. But the truth is, do you actually love it? That is such a simple question. If you dread your workouts, you won't stick with them long term. The best routine is the one that excites you, energizes you, and makes you feel good. So I think it's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Just a reminder, if you want to get my feel good fitness blueprint, you can do so completely for free by clicking the link in my description. If you're currently on the lookout for comfortable and stylish shoes, I could not recommend VIVAIA enough. It is such an amazing brand, and I love every single pair I own. All the information and all of the links to the shoes that I have are going to be down in the description. I have recently celebrated my 25th birthday, and if you want to see the mindset shift that completely changed my 20s so far, click right here and keep on watching.